Hey everyone, and welcome to the Everyday Investor today. I hope you've had a great week this week wherever you're at. It's definitely getting colder. If you're listening in from New Zealand here, it's getting colder and very, very wet. But today, ask me anything. It's going to be a quirky one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be an interesting one, actually. In this episode, I will start by sharing an excerpt from our weekly webinar that we did, and it's with fellow advisor Carly Ellis as part of our new Wealth Foundations course. Now, if you haven't checked out this course, all of this month of May and June, we're doing free weekly webinars inside this course, and we're giving away the course with a massive discount for those enrolling for the first time. Just check out the link in the show notes. You'll see an offer code there, and go ahead and go to the checkout, plop that offer code in there, and you'll get a very substantial discount. Now, for a bit of context, we have three broad sections in this course: income maximization, expense minimization, and what to do with the leftovers. Each week, Carly and I, though, we sit down during these webinars, one of the lessons, or we expand a little bit on some of the content a bit further. And this week, we covered something that could slot into the theme of Ask Me Anything. So here we are. We effectively responded to a hypothetical question this time, not an actual one. It is, however, something which surely at the moment is starting to become fairly common. How can I manage rising costs? Or, help, I need to save money. So first up, Carly and a bit of me will share some really practical things that may or may not align with what the AI says later on. But just a heads up on the AI, I've prompted it a little bit differently this time just to give us a bit more spice. So yeah, let's see what happens. All for a bit of fun, of course. And do remember, nothing should be considered formal financial advice from either us or the robot. So again, the question is, how can I trim some money out of my budget and save costs? I hope you enjoy. You're listening into the Everyday Investor Podcast. Passive investing, property investment, managed funds, and crypto. If you're an everyday person wanting to build new wealth for the new world that you're heading into, then this podcast is for you. I'm Darcy Ungaro, your host. I'm a qualified financial advisor, but I'm still learning how to invest better and teach others how to do the same. I talk with guests and cover a range of topics designed to get you to think for yourself here. But please keep in mind, this can't be considered financial advice. Be sure to do your own research here and seek qualified advice of your own before making investment decisions. If you want more information, check out the show notes in your podcast player and make sure that you've subscribed to YouTube also. Then follow the Everyday Investor on all social media channels. The NZ Everyday Investor Podcast receives support from the following partners: Easy Crypto, the safe and easy way to buy and sell crypto in New Zealand; Gorilla Technology, increasing business success through innovative and strategic IT solutions; Ungaro & Co. Financial Advice for everyday people building everyday wealth. Hope you enjoy the show. Let's get started.
If we're looking at utilities, because that's the one that everyone kind of harps on about, my power bill's increasing and and it's not, you haven't made that up, it actually is. And if you look at statistics since 1990, this is me doing my research, since 1990, power bills have risen by 79%, and that's inflation adjusted as well. So that's huge amounts, right? So you're not just imagining it. Ways that you can mitigate that, I'm not going to go through, I don't know about your mum, but she was always telling me to put on a jumper or, close your windows or do whatever. That's fine. You want to live in comfort. But there's some ways that you can make bigger savings or bigger impact straight away without, you can walk around in your budget smugglers if you want. So there, if you look at websites that can help you with those power comparisons, some of them are really clunky to operate. You've got to know how many kilowatts you use and whether you're a low user or a high user. Who's got time for that? We use this isn't a plug, we don't use them all the time, but I recently moved house and we were introduced to a company called Fast Connect. So fastconnect.co.nz. They do all the research for you. So you can either give them an old power bill or internet bill or anything like that, and they will go away and compare all of the providers and come up with a package that works best for you. And they do all of that for you. They sign you up. All you do is just press go and provide your payment details directly to the provider. And we've saved, I don't have a figure for you right now because we haven't had a full power bill or anything yet, but we were estimated to save around $40 a month, which it's $480 a year. It's not nothing,
Yeah.
and
That's
the
actually
ease.
pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So $480 is what you've saved, which, correct me if I'm wrong, this was triggered with a moving
Yep.
house. So if you didn't move house and use the Fast Connect service, do you think you would have actually been motivated enough to change your power company?
Well, when you're going through the motions of changing house, you're changing everything, you kind of get into admin mode and you don't mind doing the
Sure.
tiny piece of information that they're asking you for.
Yeah.
But I think if someone was going to tell me I had another $480 or another $40 a month,
Yeah.
I'd probably go through that very small amount of admin
Yeah.
for it.
It's a simple switch, isn't it?
Super simple. You just give them your email address.
And you don't have to be moving house to
Nope.
use Fast Connect. So anybody could jump on there and they could put in their details and just go for it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So it's nice and easy.
Okay.
Not too doesn't take up too much bandwidth in the brain as well, which can sometimes stop you from making these moves.
Yeah.
That's where you make the big savings, is by changing power companies and utility companies, because they have all these offers for first, like, new signups,
Yeah.
a couple of months free, $200 off, whatever it is. You don't get that if you're an existing client. There's no risk to changing. It's not like they're going to say that you can't come back. They're
Sure.
always going to have you back. It's
Yeah.
just, putting on a jumper isn't going to make you those decent savings over time. So
Yeah.
fastconnect.co.nz. It's a good little
Okay.
tip and trick.
And that one there, one of the things I was saying to Carly before is that I've been taking quite a deep dive in the wonderful yet awfully frightening world of AI lately. And one of the cool things that I've been bumping into quite a bit is these platforms called autonomous AI bots or AI agents, who can effectively get out there and do this sort of work for you. So what Carly was talking about with Fast Connect to save money on the power bill, that might extend into other areas really quickly, and really quite usefully as well, like figuring out your itinerary or how to pick up the kids and do your stuff that you need to during the day, and don't forget the birthday that's happening this weekend. All that sort of stuff, I think, is probably going to get a bit easier with technology. But at the moment, thankfully. But at the moment, there's actually quite a bit that you can take advantage of, and that's I've never used it myself, but you actually would rate it, would you?
I highly rate it. I think it's great. Yeah.
Okay, so it's fastconnect.co.nz.
.nz.
Okay,
Yeah.
there
Not a sponsor, just a
Yep.
handy hint. Handy
yeah.
hint.
Cool.
Look, the other place that I don't know about you, but I see a lot of money going out in my bank statements is around food. And I'm not going to harp on about the cost of living, blah blah blah. We've all heard it, but prices of food has increased. What can you do about it? There's a couple of things that I found really handy. One is it's been around for a while, but they've just had a lot of investment put into it, and it's called Menu Aid. And we'll show you what that looks like. So basically, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm the primary person that looks after the food and stuff in the house. I hate having to think about what to make every night for dinner, and even worse, I hate having to figure out where to buy the food from and what I need to remember, blah, blah, blah. So this is an awesome tool. It's $4 a week, so nothing. And you get access to like hundreds of different recipes, and they even group them into what's seasonally available in terms of vegetables and whatnot. So you pick your recipes, you put them in your planner, you hit the little shopping cart thing, and it will automatically add it to your shopping list. So handy. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. The price is wrong. Well, I've just noticed there's a couple of things that aren't really computing.
Oh, like the $80 spinach?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, spinach isn't really costing $80 for a bag at the minute. But what this does is it gives you an idea of what you need in terms of to do all of these recipes in a week. You need 2 onions, blah, blah, blah. And it actually, if you choose where you want to shop from, and it will put in the real cost, maybe, of what they currently cost at Countdown or Pack and Save or wherever you want to go. And it'll even, if you are logged into like online shopping with them, it'll also create a shopping list. And the reason creating a shopping list is so important is because of my handy dandy research. You typically overspend by 25 or 30% if you go to the supermarket without a shopping list.
Really?
That's what the research shows. And I spend about $1,500 a month at the supermarket. So that's $450 a week that I'll be, a month.
A month, yeah.
That I'm probably overspending going just willy-nilly.
That's significant. So that's like $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
Add that to your power savings. So now you're up by $5.5 grand a year. Wow.
I'm retiring.
You're retiring. That's right. Because surely we can retire off that, right?
So good.
Wow.
And that's buying stuff from your supermarkets. And again, everyone harps on about the supermarkets have a monopoly and blah, 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 blah. So if you wanted to avoid that whole situation, and you again wanted to eat seasonally, and you want it to be, you don't have the time to go to the markets on a Saturday, or you don't have the time to have a veggie garden in your backyard, or you don't even have a backyard, there's another service, and it's called Wonky Box. And Wonky Box is basically all the fruit and vegetables that are either not pretty enough for your supermarkets or for export, or there's too many of them. And so this company, Wonky Box, goes direct to farmers, piles them into a box for you every week. You get at least 10 different types of vegetables or fruit. You can choose a fruit and veg box or just a veg box. And then you can do what you want with those. You can eat seasonally. You know that you're supporting farmers and you know, and your wallet. And then you just add some meat to that if you're a meat eater.
Yeah.
Or some sauces. I don't know, but
that's cool though. So effectively, what they're doing is they're solving a couple of problems, but they're taking the food wastage problem and flipping it around so that people that don't really care about looks.
Yeah.
And there are a few of us out there.
Well, someone married us.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, they genuinely love us for who we really are, not what we look like. Thank you, my wife. So for those people, like, and to be honest, it's the seasonal part that I really like.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem. I don't really have to have that stuff as long as I've got something that's fresh.
Yeah.
And it's not just insanely expensive because it was grown in a very expensive hothouse situation, like my beautiful strawberries that you should not really be able to get in August.
No, that's when, when people talk about food prices and talk about things like strawberries are $11. It's like, but that's winter. So that's what's going to happen. So if eating seasonally is the thing that you want to do to improve your wallet and create some, reduce your expenses, create some space for wealth building activities, then menuaid.co.nz or wonkybox.co.nz or Soupy is another one where they're circumnavigating the supermarkets, but you're getting product that is of supermarket quality or better, and at a lower price.
Okay.
Bit of planning, but not too much planning.
Okay.
I can do this.
Okay.
$4 a week.
My wife think she'll probably do 70% of the shopping. She would probably really love the Menu Aid one. For me, I like the Wonky Box idea. Whether I would do it or not is another idea. But that Fast Connect one, and it's not like we don't want to make the expenses the focus, and that's what I really. I don't want to be railing against people that do make expenses the focus because hey, that's what accountants kind of are, right? Like that's important, right? But I don't think that's how you build wealth by focusing on the negative. It's by focusing on the positive maximization rather than negative minimization. But what we're talking about here is really just consistency, being consistent with what you're doing. Because let's say you do save $5,500 a year. What can you do with $5,500 a year? Well, it turns out you can do quite a lot. Like if you invested $5,500 a year for 25 years and you got a 7% rate of return, there's no way I'm going to attempt to try that.
I was going to say, if you can do that, well.
Yeah, $5,000, 25 years, 7% rate of return. I don't know what that would be, but it could be, who knows? It could be like over $100,000, right?
You can say whatever you like.
You're making it up. I want. I'm making it up as I go along. Research says.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's just like the little things, right? And something that's probably more in our wheelhouse in terms of what we do behind the curtain when we jump back on the phones and on the computer soon is we talk to people every day about KiwiSaver, mortgages, and insurance. And so, Carly, do you want to talk to us about insurance? Because saving a little bit of money on your insurance usually means that you're getting less insurance, which is super, super risky to kind of fiddle with things. So number one, before you even go down this path, if you do have an advisor connected to your insurance policies and you do want to make some changes, please reach out to your advisor to get some specific advice. And just be aware that if you're dialing down your insurance cover, you're probably going outside of their recommendation. They're still going to help you. We would help you, but it's really about saving money. It's not about making sure that it's more efficient because it was probably already efficient. It was already what you needed, most likely. But if you're just trying to save money, there's a couple of simple things that you could look at or do some more research on.
Yeah.
That's my careful way of saying don't make changes without advice, right? But do you want
Yeah,
to talk us through that?
absolutely. And when we talk about looking at different providers in terms of your utilities and things like that, those are typically safer to jump around and try different providers. But when it comes to insurance, specifically personal insurances, so that's things like life insurance, health insurance, income protection insurances, it can be really risky to jump around and look at different providers. So again, don't do any of that without advice. But you can make some changes to your existing policies, again, with some advice, with some small tweaks and changes. So if we look at, we'll start with health insurance because people understand what that is. It's an insurance that covers your medical costs if you need to use private hospitals or you need to, I don't know, have some treatment that's outside of the public system. Now, usually what's associated to your private insurance is the amount of money that you pay before the private insurance company is going to jump in. And that's called your excess. Much like on your house or contents insurance, where you smash a window, you pay the first $500, for example, the insurer pays the rest. Similar with your private health insurance. Now, the more that you can self-insure or the more that you pay before the insurance company pays, that's going to have an effect on your premium because it's less risk for them, right? So if you had, say, no excess on your medical insurance, but you've built a bit of a retirement emergency fund, you've got a little bit of surplus cash there, you could become your own insurance company whereby you take on more risk. Right? So if you're comfortable to do that, you might say to your insurance company or through your advisor, you might say, can I have a quote to increase my excess to say $500? All right. So it means that you're always going to have to keep $500 aside for the instance that you might need to go see a private specialist or get some testing or whatnot done. But it means it's reflected in lower premiums that you pay every month. So
That's really important, that one, because in the course, we did talk about this, didn't
yeah,
we?
we did. Oh, you did, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's right. We did talk about this under being your own insurance company.
Mm.
And the idea is to take your emergency fund and augment it a little bit, change it into a self-insurance fund where you're spending a little bit, automatic payment into that pot of money for all of the high frequency, low magnitude claims. That's the key thing to remember because everything with insurance is all about what is the likelihood of the event, what is the magnitude of the loss, right? So same thing with your self-insurance fund. There should be enough money in that fund and enough money going into it to cover the higher frequent yet lower magnitude events. For example, going to see a specialist or going to see a doctor getting surgery. That's surgery. Well, I don't know how often you've had surgery, Carly. I've probably only had it maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. And minor at that, but paying the first $500 was not a big deal relative to what that bill cost.
Yeah.
So it can actually be quite sensible, right?
Yeah. I mean, and especially with some of those big things like, non-pharmac chemotherapy, for example, can be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you're able to take on the first $500 or $1,000, you've still got huge amounts of cover. It's just,
So that's medical insurance. So there's lots of types of personal insurance. And so we don't want to go into all of them today. But with medical insurance, is there any other insurance policies that have some levers that can be pulled?
Yeah. So, I mean, every insurance policy, you can just reduce the amount you're insured for, but that's not always the best thing to do, right? Because you might still have a need for it. So what you can do is actually make sure that you've got the right amount of money, it's going to the right hands, but it might trigger at a different timing. So we often work with clients around income protection insurance, and that's making sure that your income will continue even if you're not able to get up and go to work in the morning. And that's most of the time due to illness or an injury. It's not due to redundancies and stuff like that, although there are some policies that can do that. But one way that you can sort of reduce premium, again, is to look at how long can you survive on your own steam before you need the insurance company to start paying you. Again, if you've got some form of an emergency fund, you might have, say, 3 or 4 months worth of living expenses saved or put aside, and that could become your new buffer, which would give you the ability to extend what they call your waiting period. So the time between you getting injured or ill before the insurance company will start paying you. So you can have short wait periods. They can be like 2 weeks, super expensive. Or you can push it out to, say, 13 weeks or even 26 weeks or 6 months, if you've got the financial capacity to do so, right? You don't want to be, I don't know, hamstringing yourself because you've pushed your waiting period out too long. But the savings there can be really significant.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one end of your injury or your illness that's getting you off work. You can extend your waiting period. The other place that you can have some impact on the premium is to reduce the amount of time that the insurance company is paying you for. Okay, so you can say, regardless of when I hurt myself, I want you to pay me right through from when I hurt myself to age 65. Now, that's obviously the most expensive type of policy you can get because the insurance company is on the hook for, in my case, I'm only 21. So that's a really long amount of time. You can change that. So if you think, look, I might only need 5 years worth of cover. So from whenever you injure yourself or get sick, your waiting period starts. And then from that point, you might only need 5 years worth of coverage. That's going to reduce your premium by quite a lot.
Just as you were kind of saying that, I just thought, well, what is the biggest expense that people probably have, right? Probably mortgages, if I was to guess. Food and then mortgages would probably be up there, right? And if you're thinking about all the things that you could pull, there's the low value ones, right? Like maybe a little bit by skipping the avocado on toast. There, I said it. Or
how boring.
I know. Sorry, I'm all losing everyone. Or saving a little bit on your shopping bill. Or these are a lot of little wins, but you start to get the really big meaty wins the closer you get to your mortgage. And for some people, maybe even their their investment strategy also. Again, there's a lot of downstream implications to this. But again, when I just think about that phone call that I had this morning with somebody, I was just thinking, well, sometimes you go through stages where you just have to do whatever you have to do to maintain your current footing. We're trying to take ground, yep, but every now and then we're going to get resistance. We're going to get pushed back. And I think we just have to be comfortable with that every now and then, right? Like you're not going to make progress all the time. So every now and then, if you do have to let go of some ground and just find a more secure footing, then just think about everything, try to prioritize it. What are the things that aren't going to have downstream impacts, like dialing down your insurance plan and then you get sick and you can't dial it back up again, or turning off your KiwiSaver contributions for a season, but then you never get around to turning it back on again, or going on interest only on your mortgage, or just dialing down some other sort of commitment. You just got to make sure that you are aware of what you've done, you're at peace with it, and you have a strategy to kind of re-implement things when the coast is clear. It's really important, right? Our lives aren't going to be static and homogenous and perfect as we go. There's going to be things that we have to navigate as we go through. So you have to be flexible. Any other things that you want to add before we finish up on this one,
I was
Carly?
just going to say, so I've just taken on a massive mortgage, so I'm right in that zone. And Darcy once told me sometimes you've just got to eat a plate of turds.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just got to eat some crap.
You got to eat some crap. And sometimes, at the minute, if you can.
Yummy.
But, if you can make sure you're not eating that forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. But yeah, have a chat to us if you need or want to know any information around the stuff that we look after, because we'd be more than happy to help. And we're in there too.
Yeah.
We're doing it with you.
Yeah, totally. Definitely.
Hi there. As you know, I'm totally fake. If you want to know how to save money at the moment or what you can do to trim the budget and adjust your costs downward, well, I'm here to help. Are you ready? Yippee, K, yay, muza. Fuzzes, let's giddy up and get started. First up, understand your expenses. 1, be a money detective. Track all your expenses for a month. There's an app for that, or go old school with paper and pen. It's like following footprints, but they're dollar signs. 2, sift through the need versus want pile. Split your expenses into can't live without, like mortgage, insurance, and nice to have, like your llama grooming subscription. Now you know where the fat is. 3, unmask the sneaky subscriptions. Oh, those automatic payments are like ninjas, silently draining your bank account. Are you using them? If not, kick them to the curb. 4, decode spending habits. Notice a pattern in your spending, like stress = pizza delivery. Being aware of these habits is like having a secret decoder ring for your budget. 5, play budget Tetris. Now that you've spotted the non-essentials, try to rearrange your spending. It's like Tetris, but instead of clearing lines, you're clearing debt. 6. Rinse and repeat. Check your expenses regularly because just like your hair, your finances can get messy without a regular rinse and repeat. Remember, trimming your budget isn't about saying no to all fun things. It's like a funky dance. You got to find the rhythm that suits you. Next up, let's get this mortgage monster under control. 1. Chat with a money guru. Consider talking to a financial advisor about your mortgage. It's like asking a wise, money-savvy oracle for advice. They might know a trick or two to tame that mortgage beast. 2. Wrestle with your terms. Sometimes negotiating better terms on your mortgage is like a wrestling match. It might be tough, but with the right strategies, you could come out on top. 3. Time for a mortgage makeover. Refinancing your mortgage is like giving your home loan a facelift. Sure, the rates are high now, but if your credit score is looking buff or you've been pumping that equity iron, refinancing could be your ticket to saving city. 4. Credit score swag. An improved credit score can open doors, literally. If yours has gone up, it's like your money reputation has been hitting the gym. Time to show it off to your lender. 5. Equity buffet. If you've been paying your mortgage for a while, you might be sitting on a buffet of home equity. That's like money sleeping in your house. Time to wake it up and put it to work. Remember, wrestling with your mortgage isn't a solo sport. Get a good coach, financial advisor in your corner to help you pin it down. Don't be afraid to tag them in. Okay. How are we doing? You good? Sometimes I bump into walls, but it's all good. Let's talk about insurance now, like we're at a funky jumble sale. 1, bargain hunt. Shopping around for insurance is like looking for hidden treasures. Those better rates are out there. You just got to find them. 2, play the deductibles game. Raising your deductibles to lower your premiums is like playing a high-stakes game of risk it for a biscuit. Make sure you've got a safety net, emergency fund, to catch you if you fall. 3, bundle bonanza. Bundling your insurance policies is like buying one of those combo meals at a fast food joint. You get more bang for your buck. Home, car, pet, iguana insurance. Can they all be one big happy family? Remember, insurance shopping doesn't have to be a drag. Put on your funky tunes and make it a bargain hunt. Just don't forget to check the fine print. It's like the lyrics to the song. You gotta know what it's saying. Wow, that almost makes sense. So, you hungry? I'm hungry. Shall we own nothing and be happy and eat bugs while we're at it? Dang. You know I know how to party. Ha! But seriously, folks, let's talk about groceries. Let's turn grocery shopping into a fun money-saving party. 1, be the meal maestro. Planning meals ahead is like being a DJ. But instead of songs, you're lining up your meals. Not only does it stop you from buying unnecessary items, but it's also fun. 2, home-cooked equal sign. Hip-cooked cooking at home is the new black. It's not only cheaper, but it also lets you showcase your culinary chops. Who needs takeout when you're the star chef? 3, big buys, big saves. Buying in bulk is like getting backstage passes. You pay more upfront, but the per item cost is lower. Just make sure you've got the storage space. You don't want to turn into a cereal hoarder. 4, generic is the new cool. Choosing generic brands can be like finding an undiscovered indie band. They're just as good and a whole lot cheaper. Time to march to the beat of your own budget-saving drum. 5, be a sales shark. Spotting sales is like surfing. You've got to catch the wave at the right time. Stay alert for those discount signs and dive in when the prices are low. 6, coupons are cash. Collecting and using coupons is like printing your own money. Okay, not quite, but it sure feels like it when you see the savings at checkout. 7, homegrown happiness. Growing some of your own food is like starting a band in your garage, but with veggies. If you have space, why not give it a go? You might discover a green thumb you never knew you had. Remember, saving money on groceries doesn't mean you've got to eat bland or boring food. Get creative, have fun, and dance to the beat of your budget. Speaking of dancing, there was this one time at a Grateful Dead concert, but, well, perhaps another time. Let's tackle utilities and internet phone expenses like we're at a groovy budget-saving festival. 1, energy-efficient rock stars. Upgrading to energy-efficient appliances and light bulbs is like swapping your old 8-track for a snazzy new MP3 player. They're cooler, they use less power, and they'll save you money in the long run. You too. Unplugging the uncool unplugged devices when they're not in use. It's like telling your electricity bill, talk to the hand because the wallet ain't listening. 3, Heat and cool with style. Be mindful of heating and cooling costs. Dress up or down for the weather inside your home. It's like changing your outfit for the energy saving party. 4, energy assistance dance. Look into any energy assistance programs offered by your local or state government. It's like finding a secret backstage pass to savings. 5, internet phone bargain jive. Check for cheaper internet and phone plans. You might find a plan that's so cheap, it'll make your wallet do a happy dance. 6, negotiate like a rock star. Not seeing a cheaper option? Time to negotiate with your provider. It's like haggling for a band tee at a concert. Don't be afraid to ask for a better deal. 7, bundle for a budget encore. Consider bundling your internet, phone, and cable services. It's like getting a VIP package. More services for less moolah. Remember, saving money on utilities and internet phone expenses is like putting on your own budget saving concert. So tune your expenses and let the savings music play. All right, let's now put the pedal to the metal and talk about transportation savings. 1, carpool karaoke. Carpooling isn't just eco-friendly, it's also wallet-friendly. And hey, it gives you a chance to belt out your favorite tunes with your new carpool buddies. Who needs James Corden, right? 2, bike the budget. Blues away. Biking is not just great exercise, it's also a great way to save on gas. Plus, you'll look super cool in that helmet. 3, walk it like it's hot. Walking when you can is like a 2-for-1 special. Save money and get fit. Your wallet and your waistline will thank you. 4, public transportation party. Public transportation can be like a rolling savings party. Plus, it gives you time to chill with a good book or podcast. 5, maintenance moves. Regular vehicle maintenance is like giving your car a spa day. It might cost a bit now, but it keeps your ride purring like a kitten and saves you from big, scary repair bills down the road. Remember, saving on transportation is like a funky road trip. So grab your savings map and let's hit the road. So, yeah, you like to party? Well, let's get this savings party moving to the next level and talk about saving on entertainment now. 1, free fun fiesta. Keep an eye out for free or low-cost entertainment options. It's like going on a treasure hunt in your own city. You'll be amazed at what you find. 2, community carnival. Many communities have free activities and events. It's like the city is throwing you a savings party, so why not join in? 3, streamline your streaming. Consider cutting back on paid streaming services. Do you really need 5 different ways to watch cat videos? Choose your favorite and let the others go. Meow! Your bank account will breathe a sigh of relief. Remember, saving on entertainment doesn't mean you can't have fun. It's all about finding the groove that fits your budget. So let's get this savings dance party started. Lastly, let's round out this discussion on savings where every penny is a party guest. 1 savings soiree. Make savings automatic. It's like having a party planner for your money. You set the amount and your bank does the rest. Before you know it, you've got a full-blown savings bash on your hands. 2, realistic rave. Create a budget that's realistic for your family's needs. It's like choosing the right playlist for your party. You don't want all slow songs or all dance tunes. You need a mix that suits everyone's tastes. 3, budget booty shake. It may take some time to find your budget groove, and that's okay. Just like learning a new dance move, it takes practice. Keep adjusting until you find your rhythm. 4, discretionary disco. It's okay to have some fun money in your budget, but make sure it's accounted for. It's like setting aside time for a fun dance-off in the middle of your party. Just make sure it doesn't take over the whole night. 5, money maestro. Please do consult with a financial advisor for more personalized advice. It's like hiring a professional DJ for your party. They know how to keep the beats and your savings flowing. Remember, saving money should feel like a celebration, not a chore. So put on your favorite tunes and let's get this savings party started. Won't you take me to the Funky Town? Won't you take me to the Funky Town?
Okay, so there you go. Thanks for listening into that. That was it was weird. Gotta be honest. It's quite amazing though what AI can do, and it's certainly probably going to be something that you see other people doing pretty soon too, I would imagine. And yeah, apart from that little Funky Town edition at the end, that was all AI and just a little bit of clever prompting. So, yep, hope you got something out of that. And remember to check out the New Wealth Foundations course if you want to be part of our weekly webinars every Wednesday at 12:45. Special discount promo code in the show notes. Awesome. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you on Monday with another show with real people. Have a good one. Cheers. Thanks for listening into the Everyday Investor Podcast. Like what you've heard, but you want more? Make sure that you've subscribed to our YouTube channel and subscribe to the Everyday Investor newsletter too. The links for everything are found in the show notes that you can access easily by swiping or tapping over the cover art in your podcast player. If you received value in some way, I'd love it if you could take the time to write a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Share it with a friend, or think of our show partners where appropriate. Easy Crypto, the safe and easy way to buy and sell crypto in New Zealand. Gorilla Technology, increasing business success through innovative and strategic IT solutions. And Garo & Co. Financial advice for everyday people building everyday wealth. Remember, some investments or strategies discussed on these episodes may result in financial loss. Be sure to do your own research and ideally seek qualified advice of your own before making investment decisions. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll catch you next time around.